If you try to book a flight from London to New York that leaves at midnight, you'll find something strange. You can't. Right now, as you watch this, there is a massive, invisible, one-way street stretching across the Atlantic Ocean. For 12 hours, hundreds of planes rush in one direction. Then, like a giant heartbeat, the entire system stops, resets, and everyone rushes back the other way. Why can't airlines just fly whenever they want? Why is the most important flight path on Earth managed like a 19th century railway? The answer involves a 200-mile-per-hour wind, a radar dead zone, and a high-stakes game of fuel chicken. Welcome to SkyDecoded. Today, we're explaining why the Atlantic isn't just an ocean, it's a conveyor belt. Here is a terrifying thought. When a pilot flies over the middle of the Atlantic, they are, in a way, invisible. Over land, air traffic controllers see every plane on a radar screen. They can move you left, right, or change your altitude in seconds to avoid a collision. But in the middle of the ocean, there is no radar. Most of the Atlantic is a black hole. For decades, controllers have had to rely on pilots reporting their position over the radio. Hey, I'm at this coordinate, at this speed. Because the margin for error is so high, you can't just have planes wandering around. This created the NATs, North Atlantic tracks. Imagine them as 5 to 7 invisible lanes in the sky. But here's the kicker, because they can't see you, everyone in those lanes has to move in the same direction at the exact same speed. If you tried to fly against the flow, it would be like driving the wrong way on a highway at 600 miles per hour. But wait, why not just build lanes for both directions? That brings us to the invisible wall, the North Atlantic jet stream. This is a massive river of air moving from the U.S. toward Europe at speeds that can exceed 200 miles per hour. If you're flying from New York to London, the jet stream is your best friend. It's free energy. It pushes the plane so hard that sometimes commercial jets accidentally break the speed of sound relative to the ground. Airlines love this because it saves thousands of dollars in fuel. But flying west from London to New York, that wind is your worst enemy. If you fly directly into it, you're burning fuel at a terrifying rate, and your 7-hour flight just turned into a 9-hour nightmare. So every morning, controllers look at the wind map and say, "Okay, the wind is here today. We're moving the entire highway 100 miles south to help the westbound planes dodge it." The tracks literally move every 12 hours to chase the best physics. Now, let's talk about why you, the passenger, are part of the problem. If an airline sent a plane from New York at 10 a.m., it would land in London at 10 p.m. By the time you get your bags, it's midnight. The trains have stopped. Your hotel is closed. You're exhausted. Airlines call this dead time. Nobody wants to buy that ticket. The industry discovered a golden rhythm, the night rush. Everyone leaves the U.S. at night to land in Europe for breakfast. The daylight chase. Everyone leaves Europe in the morning to land in the U.S. for dinner. This creates a massive wave of traffic. It's why Heathrow is a ghost town for Atlantic arrivals at 4 p.m., but looks like a beehive at 7 a.m. If you're on one of these tracks, the cockpit is a high-stress environment. Because there's no radar, you are assigned a Mach number. If the controller says Mach 0.82, you stay at exactly Mach 0.82. You cannot speed up to arrive early, and you cannot slow down. If you do, you risk closing the 10-minute gap between you and the Boeing 777 behind you. It's a synchronized dance involving 1,000 aircraft a day, all separated by thin air and a stopwatch. If one plane has an engine issue or needs to descend quickly, the entire conveyor belt has to react. It's one of the most complex puzzles in modern logistics. Is this system going to last forever? Actually, no. Space-based ADS-B technology is finally allowing controllers to see planes in the middle of the ocean via satellite. For the first time in history, the black hole is closing. We're starting to see free route airspace where planes can finally break out of the one-way tracks. But for now, the Atlantic remains a slave to the wind and the clock. The next time you're over the ocean, look out the window. You're not just flying. You're a single cog in a massive global machine that's been running tick-tock for 60 years. Thanks for decoding the sky with us. If you want to know why airplane windows have those tiny holes, check out this video here. Subscribe for more. This is SkyDecoded. See you in the clouds.